Then I see if he wants to ad lib something or visually ad lib something that's not on the script, because I'm always following the script. And then I didn't do something that he's doing. And I'm like, that's not in the script. Like when he does that face off with the whole thing, that wasn't scripted.
I mean, hey,
you did have a certain air, Nicolas Cage air about you. I noticed it more so now talking to you in over Zoom in person, more or less than. But when I was first looking at your pictures, I noticed in a lot of the behind the scenes pictures, you almost have would assume like a Nicolas Cage air about just the way you were standing, and that he has like a certain way that he holds his mouth when he stands, and it's almost just like letting gravity do whatever it wants, and he forgot to close it sometimes. And I noticed that you had that a lot in the behind the scenes pictures, almost like you were method acting to a degree as a full-time stand-in for Nicolas Cage.
The truth is it became a full-time job. I'd accepted within myself that I'm never going to be an actor. And so once you let that part of it go, but now I'm in the union. Remember, I'm still a Screen Actors Guild person. And so you're working under the Screen Actor Guild agreements while you're in the States. And remember, I also have a green card, so I can come and go freely. And Nick Cage knew all that. He did all his research before he hired me. It's not that it's like, oh yeah, you here now. He knew everything about me ahead of time. He did research. They made phone calls. They checked out, am I a good guy? Do I have a driver's license? And I had a California license and I have an Ontario license, and both were very valid. And there were, no points and no DUIs and none of that stuff. I had a very clear record. So I was actually the perfect person to work for him. And that's exactly what I did. I became the method stand-in. So if he was wearing that wig in Con Air, I wore the wig in Con Air. And, so it was, but I took it seriously because I also wanted to please the cinematographer and the director in these shots, so it doesn't throw them off. So you really take it to as best as you can without getting in the actor's face or without distracting the director or the cinematographer while you're trying to bring the mood of Nick Cage's character to the camera. And that's what I was doing as best as I could without looking like a fool and without trying to mimic him, because it's fucking impossible.
Oh, I wanted to talk about his hustle, because you would be able to speak to this probably more so than anybody, as you were literally walking in his every footstep for a good decade. And it's just, I know a lot of actors put in work, but he puts in a lot of work.
Like
sometimes the amount of product that he's able to produce in a single year is just, it's just kind of baffling, to be honest. Like, how are you doing this? And I was wondering what your perspective of that, from your perspective, what that looked like, and just was there a time continuum that was broken at any point for him to produce like 5 films in a single year? And they're good they're all good performances and good films in their own right. That's the other crazy thing.
Every minute that he was awake, he was working on his characters. I saw the finished product because I was on set, guys, but I know that when he was in his trailer, the setups are very long, as you know. When you get into these larger films, like the setups are 3 hours to 13 hours sometimes. It depends on what it is. And I'm there for all of it. So I don't see the process of him working and studying and going through all of it. That's what he does in the trailer or at home whenever they bring him on the set. I'm on there with crew. So as I'm there with crew, I only see the finished product. And then I see if he wants to ad lib something or visually ad lib something that's not on the script, because I'm always following the script. And then I didn't do something that he's doing. And I'm like, that's not in the script. Like when he does that face off with the whole thing, that wasn't scripted. You know what I mean? So I'm reading it and I'm like, what is that on the monitor? I thought, what? It was no rehearsal. He just did it.